And so as a consequence, that may be not particularly fun for the player because they cannot create a mental model of how the game will unfold, right? And then you start to introduce mechanics, and then you steer towards the other direction, and then you get to the point where an LLM even needed, or could it just be like regular good old mechanics, right?
Yep.
And then you go in the other direction and you bounce back and forth, and probably gradually you converge towards something that is on the verge of being fun because the LLMs add something substantial to it, but at the same time is structured enough to be so that players are capable of reasoning about it and imagining what's going to come next, and also have some grounding, I would say, in a shared like game state or in a shared game mechanics. That's for sure another thing that we are discovering, I would say.
Question for you. So your paper prototyping tool sounds very cool. It also sounds a little bit like vibe coding. Like in my mental, I have a lot of mental, how to say, models for vibe coding and doing this type of like software with just basically you and your friend Claude. But one of them is that it's like a better Figma, right? Like you can, if you squint a little bit, when you grab Claude and you start doing those artifacts, it's a way of prototyping a dynamic version of that app that you were doing. I would imagine that there's some similarity here in your paper prototyping. Is that the case? Is this like a smaller version of a vibe coding
Yeah. So
game?
I would say maybe the way to describe it a little bit better is it's more or less a little framework, right? That provides a bunch of pre-canned functions that are functions that we have seen being useful across many multiple like prototypes, right? And so by building these prototypes, gradually we're saying, oh, this thing is common. Let's put it somewhere. A good example could be like rolling a dice, right? Like something as simple as that, right? Or something more complex than that, or something that is, AI prompt templating mechanism that fills in the blanks with variables that are in the game, for instance, things like that, right? So it's a set of primitives like that we've been gradually accumulating. And so with respect to vibe coding, I would say the advantage, this is my take, maybe wrong about this, but the advantage of something like this is it actually makes vibe coding easier.
Yeah.
The reason is it's like giving to, if you want to vibe code with it, it's like you're giving to Claude already the primitives and the building blocks that they can put together in a way that then resembles something, as opposed to start from scratch and having to reinvent the wheel of even what is a roll of a die.
Gotcha.